Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the FlexRC Pico X All-in-One Edition. I used Racerstar BR1103 10,000 kV motors, King Kong 2-inch quad blades, Cicada 7-amp ESCs, 20x20 F3 flight controller, Bold Clash F01 aka VM275T Camera and all-in-one. The camera mount is from HoverBot, 2mm prop guard and 2mm bottom plate. It weighs 56.1 grams. It weighs 44 grams without the prop guard. With the guard mounted like this, it weighs 52 grams. So we've got ourselves another brushless indoor flyer here, and this one is actually our second one from FlexRC. The first one you might remember is the OWL. Mine was version 1. There's a version 2. I think there's a light version and a race version, and then there's this one which is not the OWL. It's the Pico X All-in-One Edition. And these struts don't come with the kit. What you get are the carbon fiber pieces, and when you have the carbon fiber pieces and the nylon standoffs in there, it makes this thing really durable. What you probably already saw in the flight video where I come from the outside of the house, inside of the house, I would smack the door, I'd smack the top, because my gap in there was so small, and I think I would get a little bit twitchy on the thumbs and nervous, and I didn't have any damage to the parts. What I would end up damaging is usually I would end up with a bolt that would just get severed on the impact, apparently, and you could, because I was coming inside when I had most of those crashes, you could actually hear one of the little bits skittering across the floor. But you know, you just put in another one from your nylon standoff kits you can get off of eBay for $4 or $5. I think there's a big advantage to getting these printed pieces. Now, I haven't flown with this, but I will. I actually only got these yesterday, and I've been flying this vehicle for about 2 weeks. So I'll post a video here at the end that will, at the very least, give you a difference in view of what it looks like with these struts on here rather than the nylon and carbon, because it is quite noticeable. But the benefits are that you can get, of course, your right angle adapter for going in there is going to go in there real nice and easy. And depending upon your USB cable, you'll be able to get that in there as well. When I ran this one in there, there's enough flex in this strut and enough flex in my cable that I was able to get that plugged in. And so that's a big benefit, because when you go with the solid nylon standoffs and the carbon fiber pieces, you have to take that one out every time you want to do a little PID tuning. While we're talking about PIDs, let's take a look at mine. I think mine could use a little bit more D, but I'm pretty happy with this. You'll notice my yaw is pretty high, and you'll notice my rates are really high, and that's just how I fly. If you don't like that way, turn them down. Fly however you want to fly with whatever rates you like. But this will give you a jumping off point if you build one of these vehicles with the parts that I list down in the description, that at the very least you should be able to use these PIDs and it'll fly relatively good. It may not be perfect for you again, but change things as you wish. Pump things up, take things down. It's all personal preference, really. I do want to make sure everyone understands that this camera mount did not come from FlexRC. This camera mount came from HoverBot. And I just wanted to try this one out. You do get a couple of carbon fiber pieces that you can mount your camera in up here at the top. I just wanted to try this one out because I thought it was really slick, a little two-piece design here. And it's held up well. My camera still works. I've landed upside down. Landed. I always say landed when I mean crash. I rarely land. I usually crash. But when I've come in and landed upside down most of the time, it stood up pretty well, and I think it's pretty slickly designed. I like this one, and I kind of wish I'd bought a couple more, because I'm sure I'm going to be wanting to use them on others. As far as these struts go and any movement here, let me see if I can hold this bottom piece and give it a little, so you can see we've got a little twisty action there. And I'm using a fair bit of force, way more than we're going to have in vehicle weight. So these should hold up pretty well, but I think the big advantage again is that we can get to our USB port, and it'll probably change our view out the front a little bit, because we have less blocking our camera straight down. We'll actually be able to see what's down in the area down here. But another good product from FlexRC, if you're interested in something like this, especially if you're someone who maybe wants to do some indoor flying, but maybe haven't done a whole lot of flying. I've been flying for, what, a year and some odd months, and I've spent the last 5 months flying indoor brushless just like this one. And I beat this thing up. I don't have a problem with the carbon fiber and taking any paint off the walls or digging up any of our furniture. I haven't had any complaints from the family, so I think that this stuff is relatively safe. I don't think you need a bumper on it. It's nice and smooth. But depending upon your crashes, you may find that your mileage varies with that. But this one is going to be especially durable. I think if you're getting started and you're wanting to do some indoor flying, this is a really good choice, because we really don't have any parts that are going to break and keep us out of the air. And if you want to go fly outside, you can take the whole thing off relatively simply, and then you've got a Pico X to just go fly. Okay, I don't have a build video. I know that will disappoint a few of you, but this is kind of, we've done this a few times before. And you'll note that I don't use the 4-in-1 ESC. I use separate ESCs. I don't mind the extra work in getting the ESCs connected, but what I did want a low profile. And as you can see there, if you pump up the profile, your camera starts to get in view. And for me, that changes things. And you might prefer the view up higher. For me, I like to know that my profile is down, so if I try to get through or under something, that I'm less likely to chop off my camera. That's personal preference. You can use a 4-in-1 ESCs on these just fine and easy. I didn't. I used individual ESCs. The Racerstar motors, they're kind of becoming old hat, aren't they? We're starting to see, especially these. These don't have the holes in the top, so now Racerstar has the ones with the holes in the top, so you can mount props with screws. But we're also starting to see other motors come in smaller than this, and we'll see what that brings. I suspect some of our designers will be bringing us some new quads to try to build up. Again, good product. I really enjoyed flying it. I really enjoyed my time, and I'll include this in the roundup. I do still plan on the roundup. I think I'm going to do one more indoor brushless review I've got coming up. It's actually sitting right up there, but I'm sure you've seen that one before. That's one that's an RTF. So I'll do that review, and then we'll finally get to the roundup that I must have talked about 8 weeks ago. I apologize it's been so delayed, but, life. And then we can do the roundup, and I suspect having 7 or 8 of these, a few of them are going to need to find new homes. So stay tuned for that as well. Okay, enjoy the flight. Questions or comments? Leave those in the section down below. Thanks for watching.
As promised, we're going to take a look here at the different view differences between using the carbon fiber and the nylon standoffs to support the prop guard versus the printed struts. I'll leave this up here for a few seconds. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the section down below, and I'll do my very best to answer them. Thanks for watching.